Hello and welcome or welcome back. My name is Tahira and today we're going to talk about your imposter syndrome. As horrible as imposter syndrome feels, it feels like you're not good enough, you're feeling anxious, you're feeling like all eyes are on you. All of these feelings are actually a good thing. So congratulations. So I'm gonna, as we're talking about your imposter syndrome, I'm gonna actually start doing my makeup. I'm gonna do my makeup and we're gonna talk about your imposter syndrome and why the hell it's actually good. So congratulations and let's get going. Okay, so first I think, first with my makeup, I use this. I don't even know how, I'm not a makeup person, FYI, so bear with me. I don't know. Oh wait, my thing is still, we're still drying here. So let's chat. My primer is still drying. Let's chat a little bit. So today we're going to talk about the roots of your imposter syndrome, where this feeling or where these feelings are actually coming from. And then we're going to talk about a few ways that you can actually push through the imposter syndrome and maybe get where you need to go. Okay? So let me try to dry my face and let's get going. Okay, so one of the roots of your imposter syndrome is actually probably a personality trait that you have. So most people who feel or get the feeling of imposter syndrome, they have very high standards for themselves. If this is you, raise your hand. It's hard to have high standards for yourself because there's always this weight on your shoulders to do more, do better. It takes a lot to just give yourself a pat on the back. And trust me, I feel you. I feel you. So I'll be sort of talking and doing my makeup at the same time, but I will show all the products that I'm using and I'll list them down below in the description box. And again, I'm definitely not a makeup artist, so bear with me. Bear with me. So another root of imposter syndrome can be your internalized beliefs. So this is how you feel about yourself, essentially. Do you deserve certain things? Do you deserve to win big? Do you deserve to succeed? This is all about your self-esteem and basically how you feel about yourself. Lastly, I think the biggest root of imposter syndrome is your perceived lack of incompetence. So this doesn't necessarily mean that you are incompetent or that you can't get shit done or you don't have the skills to get stuff done. It's that you have this belief within yourself that for whatever reason, you're skilled, you don't have this, you're thinking that you don't have the skills, you're thinking that you are somehow less than your peers or others that are around you in the same position. So basically, if you feel like you have imposter syndrome or you're feeling anxiety around a new opportunity or a new situation that's going on in your life, most likely you have high standards for yourself. You maybe have low self-confidence and you are putting low worth on your skills. And the reality is you got the goods, you got the talents, and absolutely nobody on this planet Earth is better than you, we all have our own special and unique talents. So let's move forward with some techniques that we can flip around this self-doubt and level up and get the confidence to go on to this next level. So definitely the first technique that I use myself to scoot past or sidestep imposter syndrome is to acknowledge that you have imposter syndrome. So this means giving yourself grace, understanding that you are in fact going to have negative thoughts that are going through your mind. You are going to have these self-deprecating thoughts that are coming into your head and telling you that you're not worthy, telling you that you can't do this, telling you that XYZ and Joe and Bob are better than you. They have more education, whatever it is. If you give yourself the opportunity to acknowledge that I am going to have these negative thoughts going through my head, and I'm not going to let them control me or control how I move forward in my life. What you do is you just let them pop up in your head. Let these negative thoughts pop up into your head. Acknowledge them and see them go right out of your head. That's it. And it's not going to be easy, but it does get easier with practice. So you'll start to even say to yourself, like, damn girl, you're mean. Like you'll start to notice when you're being mean or you're being extra harsh with yourself, or even when you're being nice to yourself. Like when you'll give yourself a compliment, you'll start to notice little things about how you are speaking to yourself. So not only are you paying attention to the negative thoughts that are going in and out of your mind, acknowledge or try to figure out if there's a pattern for when you're feeling and hearing these negative thoughts come into your mind. Is it right before a Zoom call and you're hearing all of this chatter and negative thoughts in your mind? Or are you about to go to bed and you can't sleep because you have all of these negative thoughts swirling in your mind? Try to acknowledge when or what is triggering this event, and you can see how you can possibly shift things around. So for myself personally, I know that before a big call, before Zoom calls or something like that, I get extremely anxious, and this is when my mind goes insane. However, I realize that if I schedule calls, and this is not always possible, but sometimes it is possible. If I schedule calls early in the morning, I don't have the entire day to worry, feel anxious, self-deprecate, have these negative thoughts for hours and hours and hours and hours and hours on end and drive myself insane. So now what I try to do is schedule important calls first thing in the morning, boom, 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 get it out the way, and my day, my body, my mind, all of these things are just generally calmer. So another technique that you can use that actually my therapist gave me is mindfulness. Now, mindfulness it sounds like, some woo-woo like BS. However, mindfulness is very, very simple. Mindfulness is basically a technique where you are taking note of how your body and your mind feel during certain situations. So if you are recognizing that, let's say my example of this Zoom meeting that I was feeling some imposter syndrome for, let's say I'm up for a promotion and and I'm having all these new big meetings. There's all these seniors in all of these meetings, and I'm just feeling like I don't belong at the table. Okay? Let's use that as an example. So now, using mindfulness as a technique, now before, this big meeting that we're in this example that we're using, before this big meeting, I am taking note of how I feel. So when I first wake up in the morning, I'm taking note, how did I sleep last night? Did I have a restless sleep? Was I completely anxious the entire night and I woke up feeling depleted already? And I'm already feeling like, okay, I already don't feel like I am confident. I was worried and up all night. Now I have this meeting that I have to go to, and my heart is beating, and it's just 6 o'clock in the morning. So be gentle with yourself. Mindfulness is all about taking note of how you're feeling and being gentle with yourself. So if you're noticing that your stomach is feeling a little bit upset in the morning because of this anxious feeling that you're having with the imposter syndrome, make sure that you have some protein. Maybe you should skip that coffee this morning. Basically, mindfulness is taking note of what you need to take care of yourself. Like, what do you need? Asking yourself, what do you need in that moment? So if you're feeling like you're recognizing that your hands are sweaty or your stomach is not feeling too good, maybe you should head into the meeting with a glass of lemon water. Or maybe you should head into that meeting with some hot water. I don't know. Something to make you feel comforted. Whatever you need to get through this feeling. If you need to bring a freaking binky and hold it, do it. It does not matter. Whatever you need to get through this feeling. Right? So a lot of the techniques for mindfulness also include taking note of your breath and making sure that you feel grounded. So deep breathing exercises, I always recommend the Balance app, which is really amazing. And this is absolutely not sponsored, but I will leave a link down below. The Balance app has all kind of breathing short 5-10 minute breathing techniques that you can do if you're in a stressful situation or you're feeling like you really need a minute to just chill out. The Balance app is really amazing for mindfulness techniques if you want to check that out. Okay, I'm gonna call this face done, but let's keep talking. Oh, I forgot I didn't put any powder on, so hopefully I look... Do I look more... Anyway, and this is the powder that I use. This is the powder that I use, the Rare Beauty. Okay, and now I will call the face done. When I tell you these breathing exercises, they actually work. You just have to lean into it. At first, it's gonna feel silly. You're gonna feel silly. You're gonna feel probably like this is not doing anything. I just want to keep panicking. But keep doing it. Keep trying it. It really does. Your breath is always with you. So it really is a great way to just calm the fuck down when you're really having an anxious moment. Another big tip is to just practice self-compassion. You are a human being living the human experience. It is not easy. Nobody ever said this was easy. Especially, all the different things that we each as individuals have to deal with in the workplace, at home, with our children, with our spouses, whatever it is, life is not easy. And if you have such high standards for yourself, like, you can't be your own, like, enemy. You have to be your best friend in order for you to win. You have to be your cheerleader. You have to be the one who's cheering yourself on and, like, go girl, you got the shit. You got the shit. You don't want somebody in the back of your head, aka you, telling you that you are no good and you ain't gonna do shit. Because then you're gonna start to believe it. And you need somebody who tells you to take a breath and move forward one step at a time. Technique that I use all the time just to help stop this imposter syndrome cycle is to challenge these negative thoughts. So we already talked about seeing these negative thoughts going through your head and just watching them drift right out, but we didn't really talk about challenging these negative thoughts yet. So you know that you're going to have these negative thoughts. You know they're going to go through your mind because your mind, that's what your mind is supposed to do. Okay, your mind is supposed to come up with 1,000 different thoughts. Some are bad, some are good, some are neutral. This is just the nature of your mind. Let's say you are up for a promotion and you are thinking in your mind, there is no way that I'm going to get this promotion because I don't have the same education that my peers have on my team. Okay, so instead of stopping there, so we have this negative thought, instead of just stopping at this stuck point, let's dig into it. And this is where this is the work that a lot of us don't do because it's scary to kind of open up this Pandora's box of this negative thought, right? So there's lots of ways that you can go about challenging this stuck point right here. But I think that the point of how to challenge the stuck point is really to come to a place of, if you're up for this promotion, then you're good enough for said promotion. If the opportunity has come to you, it has been presented to you, then you're good enough. Period. We can dive into who has a master's degree on your team. We can dive into the resumes of everybody. We can dive into the personality. We can dive into a whole bunch of different things. But the point is, this opportunity came to you. You earned this opportunity and you are good enough for this opportunity. So a lot of these stuck points that you'll have, and you'll have a lot of them once you start to realize what stuck points actually are. And once you realize that you can actually dig and dive into these stuck points that give you that pit in your stomach and leave you feeling like you're a piece of crap. Once you dive into these stuck points, you'll understand that most of them are useless. They're useless and you can just throw them right in the trash. So yeah. Once you deep dive into these stuck points and really understand what the basis of the stuck point is, you'll realize that there's not much basis for a lot of the negative thoughts you have. They're just, maybe you've had childhood experiences, maybe you've had lots of other things, but they usually don't even come from the situation that's right in front of you. And the situation that's right in front of you is that you have an opportunity to progress and grow. And these feelings of imposter syndrome are really just a symptom of you progressing and growing. So congratulations. I am very happy for you. If you're feeling these feelings of imposter syndrome, that means that there are good things happening in your life and you are moving forward. Like, it's never a bad thing to have these feelings. It's just about how you can manage these feelings. I've just been learning this as a whole. 99% of your feelings, they're not here to scare you. They're not here to make you feel bad. They're here to guide you, and they're here to help you. They're here to help you. So if you use them in the right way and understand techniques to center yourself and ground yourself, you can get through it. So thank you for spending some time with me. I had a great time doing my quick makeup. Hopefully, does it look good? I don't know. But yeah. Thank you so much, and I'll see you next time.